Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to an album share. This is the long-awaited share of my Hawaii 2019 album that my husband and I did for our 25th wedding anniversary. And it's going to be filmed in two parts because it is actually two albums. And so rather than making it one huge long video, I'm going to go ahead and split it into two. So this is the first page of the first album. Lots of sequins, just the palm trees. Nice title popped up onto some foam. And I'm gonna kind of go through this quickly. Most of these layouts have videos for them. So if there's something in particular that you wanna see, you can send me a message and I will try and drop the link down below for you or send you a message back with the link for that video if that's something that you're interested in, or you can just go peruse my channel. Here's just another mixed media layout with a cut file. Cheers to another year of us, and just calling out that it is our album for our anniversary. This is when we first arrived into Hawaii. We went to Kauai. We rented a convertible Mustang. We stopped right away and got a pineapple. You know, so things you gotta do. This is just a layout with the airplane and flying in. These could be considered in the wrong order, but I wanted these two next to each other because they kind of go together, and then the next one is a double page as well. So anyway, here is our bucket list of things that we wanted to see on the list on our trip. So this is the place that we are staying. I'm trying to keep a theme throughout the album using these cameras. So you will see them here and there throughout the album. I did kit up a whole bunch of papers in advance. I used some Fifth and Monaco and some Heidi Swap Art Walk, which is the background over here, and more Fifth and Monaco flowers, and then a little bit of P13. These cameras are from P13, and then some other papers from Jen Hadfield's Chasing Adventure. So those are the three lines that I mostly had. There might be a paper here or there pulled in, more art walk. So pulling in lots of these tropical bright colors. This is the place that we stayed. We stayed in the northern portion of the island in Princeville, the resort. This is a food truck that my husband looked up before we ever left San Jose. He wanted to know where to go eat on the island, and this truck is called Trucking Delicious. It had great reviews, a huge amount of great reviews, and the food was in fact quite delicious. More of those cameras being pulled in. This is a little bit more of that P13. So you can see my colors are not all the same, but they do carry through out the album. This is the car and me waiting in the car while my husband was taking some pictures. That's a very common occurrence. He likes to stop and get out of the car and take photos. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait for you. I'll wait in the air conditioning. No problem. I do have some epoxy flare in here from Scrap and Happy Studio. And then some sequins as well from Spiegelman Scraps. And this is Hyena State Park. I think that's how you say that. I'm not 100% sure. But more of the florals. And what I did for these florals that are not from a particular collection is I purchased a digi collection, 2 digi collections online, and I resized and printed a whole bunch of the flowers and leaves, printed them on my home printer, color printer, and then I put them through my scan and cut and had them cut it out, or I fussy cut the ones that didn't cut well so that I would have multiples of them, because I didn't have enough flowers to carry all the way through the album. I would have had to buy a ton of packs of those, so I thought it would just be easier to print them. Some of them are stamped. These are stamped, but they also match this printed one, so carrying that vibe through. This is more at the state park that we visited. This area all got flooded not too long ago. Well, it's long ago now, but in 2019 it was just like the couple years before, and it was all growing back. I thought these roots were really super cool. So just some pages may not have as much journaling, but some do. This is from Not Just for Boys. This one is just me at the beach at the state park, that same Haena State Park, or Haina, I'm not sure how you say it. Again, more printables, lots of things tucked in there. A little mixed media. This is Opeka Falls. I don't know. It's written there. I don't know how you say it, but lots of mixed media and the falls that we saw from across the canyon. More flare. I'm really liking that. This is a little beach hut shopping area that you can go to, and it's got all these little cute little houses. I thought that was kind of cool. It went really well with these cut files. Some of my cut files are from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and some are from Pear Tree, and some are probably from Cut to You. So I need to add a little bit of journaling here. This is Wailua Falls. I need to add a little journaling there. So note to self, go add some journaling, but a lot of these pages already have journaling. This is the Kihua Arboretum, the road to the Arboretum, and I really liked this artwork on the side of the road, and it really matched this cut file that I created. Unfortunately, somebody did a little graffiti work on her face, and she's got a mustache as well as the gentleman. So I just thought this was a cool picture. This truck kind of welcomes you into Hanapepe, or Hanapepe, I'm not sure how you say it. And then I just used this cut file to kind of mimic it and do a bunch of mixed media. Trying a new technique. Sometimes that's kind of fun in your albums. This is the Hanapepe swinging bridge, and you can see I have a little insert in here. I really like little inserts tucked in so that it's like a little surprise in your album. So this is the swinging bridge. You can walk across that swinging bridge. It's kind of bouncy. And then I do need to add some more journaling. You guys, I didn't finish my journaling, but I will be doing that before this goes back on the shelf. So there's me entering the bridge, the sign for it. I didn't really put a title because it's in the sign. There is a little journaling. I just need to add more. This was actually done for a class this is from one of the blank to bold classes. More of the camera, more of the leaves, some stamping, and these are just some interesting sights we saw around town. This is an avocado, it's huge. So just some interesting things that we saw as we were driving around. This is a little restaurant we stopped at, Monkey Pod Jam Cafe. I don't think it's even there anymore, and my husband was very surprised that I wanted this fermented platter, which had like all kinds of things that were pickled, and it was actually really, really good. So had fun with that one. And then the road down to Poipu, I really liked that there were these trees that just covered everything, and it made you feel like you were going through a not really a tunnel, but I don't know, it was just really lush and tropical and beautiful feeling. So I need to add a little journaling on that one. This is the Waimea Canyon State Park. We didn't spend a lot of time there. We did some of the overlooks, but that was about it. I'm not a super big hiker, and so we didn't really spend a ton of time in the canyon. I'd rather be on the water. These are these big, huge leaves, and so we decided to take some pictures in there, more of the camera, and some more of, well, tons of leaves down here, and then a flare, epoxy flare. So I gotta do a little more journaling here. I did some here, but I gotta finish it here. And actually, some of these are waiting because I want my husband to talk about this as well. So this is one of the wettest places on Earth, and it's at 5,140 something feet, and the rainfall is 400 inches of rain each year. So yeah, little mixed media mixed in with some wood grain. I like the wood grain with the wood sign. This is at the top of a mountain, and it was so cloudy. We were in a cloud, you couldn't see anything. So when we came out of the cloud, this is up in that same area. I have debated about whether to put something on this picture or just leave it plain. I printed it in 12 by 12. And at this point, I think I'm just going to leave it plain because I love how big it is. And it's just kind of a reflection of this opposite page. Hopefully you guys are not getting too much glare. I apologize if you are. I have played with my my lights and tried to move them so the glare is less. Hopefully maybe that helps just a little. So more mixed media, more of these acrylic pieces. I really like the texture in there. And then we get to another one that has a small page in between. These are not meant to be like a double page layout, but I did want them to kind of reflect each other a little bit. So this is in, let's see here. So this is basically just talking about how hot it was and that we spent a lot of time in the convertible, but most of the time we spent with the top up so we could use the air conditioner. It was really hot and super humid, and we went in October. So these are down by Honolulu, and just the pictures my husband pulled over to stop to take. Those are two of them. And this is us on the Honolulu Pier. So I did want these two to have the same feel and match, and you can see they're just kind of a reflection of each other, one smaller than the other. And again, I really like the smaller pieces tucked in. It's like a little surprise. This is at Piazza in Princeville, obviously. It says Princeville right there. And this is a little restaurant. It's kind of a little higher scale, high-end restaurant. So I've got this lasagna. I can't remember what he had. It probably says in this writing. And this stacked salad we shared. So more of the camera, bringing in more of the Heidi Swap art walk, mixed in with some of the other elements that, well, this is from art walk as well. So, but mixing it in with some of the 49 and Market pieces and then the P13 pieces. So I just try to carry it throughout. This is at the same restaurant. So it's so I have this picture here, but this is like the reverse of it, or not reverse, but a moment later. And this is, this layout just talks about one of the days I had really severe anxiety, and I really wanted to go places, but I really couldn't go places without stressing out. So we took it really easy and just stayed low key and close to our resort. And my husband was so good about that because he knows that if we try and force it, then I'm a hot mess. So, yeah. This little piece could go actually anywhere. This is its own little story. My husband was in search of these Chinese pork buns, and they're called chejuba. And apparently they're super popular, I think, on Oahu maybe. But over here, they're just like, you can get them at 7-Eleven, and the day workers use them, or the construction workers just pick them up there. And so we stopped and we had some. They were not anything to write home about, except obviously they got their own page. But the page was more about how he was really excited to share them with me because he actually did live in Hawaii for a period of time. And this was one thing that he remembered really enjoying were these pork buns. And they were really, he was a little let down by what we got on Kauai. So I think they're just a different standard than what they have in Oahu. So then we're going to go down to Fern Grotto. Not Fern Gully. That's a movie. The Grotto. And while we were waiting, we had about 30 minutes or so. So we popped into Smith's Tropical Paradise. It was really inexpensive to get in. And best $2 on the island is to buy a bag or two of birdseed and feed the birds while you're there. So these are actual feathers, not from these peacocks. These are from local peacocks, and they've just been waiting for me to use them for a few years, but I thought this is the perfect use for them. Little mixed media that I had already had done. This snail is like probably this big. He's really close to he's huge. He's like 4 inches across. So that's why he got his own page. I thought it was interesting. And I just wrote that in there. These are just some of the beautiful flowers that were in the Tropical Paradise. And then this is feeding the birds. So me feeding the birds and my husband feeding the birds. And yes, this is super small. This was a challenge for Mixed Media Mayhem. And It was actually a challenge I chose because I wanted to emulate somebody who does layouts that have really small subject matter, lots of detail, and a lot of white space. But it goes well because all of these little pieces mirror pieces that are throughout my album. So it just says collect beautiful moments, and there's a camera. And so this is me feeding the birds. I don't know if there's not another one. I actually need to add a QR code here because I have a video of the birds just flocking to my hands. They just come and land on your hands and then they fly away. So I need to add a QR code there. And then this is Fern Grotto. We took a boat down to Fern Grotto. And so I need to put some journaling here, but I'm leaving a little bit, like I said, open for my husband to add some of his commentary to the album. And then this background was all stamped. It was a completely stamped background, which I thought was kind of fun. But more of those home printed florals, another one of those cameras hidden, and a lot of the greenery out of vellum, which I have used the vellum, this green vellum, back here. So when I'm doing an album, I'm just using similar items throughout the album. And then this is a dinner at the Tortilla Republic. I've used this stamping on a couple of other pages in here. I think it's in the second album. But again, bringing in more of this black and white, which you see throughout the album. You can see it here, you see it here. You see it on black and white here. So lots of repetition, black and white. And those black and white pieces are all from, or most of them are from, the Jen Hadfield Chasing Adventure collection. So that is it, you guys, for album 1. So I think I'm going to do my second one in about a week. So they're not back to back. Yeah, so I'll do, today's the 1st, we'll have this one, and then on the 8th I'll have the second half. So come back and check that out if you want to see how that album ends. Lots of stuff in here. You probably could squeeze it down because I do tend to do quite a few single photo layouts, but I do have stories that I want to go with them, and then I know my husband has some stories that I need to add as well. So that is why my albums are so thick. But you know, you could probably cut down something like this. I probably don't need this in here because I have very similar photos over here, but this is a whole different story about how hot it was and using the car, versus this is our jaunt out to the end of the pier and such. So, and I do tell a little bit about that here. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys again soon. Bye.